Do white people belong in hip-hop? Now, before you answer that question, ask yourself, would Irish people be happy if like a British person started making traditional Irish or Gaelic music? I'm going to expand on this point later on in the video, but just keep this in mind as you watch. This is a question I've been constantly asking myself over the years, and you know what? After this election, I'm gonna say no. Y'all niggas can stay over there with this tattooed naked mole rat in the country section. The cultural gates have not been kept for far too long, and I'm officially closing this shit down, bro. We will no longer have any more Lil Xans, no more Lil Pumps, and no more bad babies. We're done. Y'all can't come to the cookout no more. We not teaching you how to cook mac and cheese, and we not hyping y'all up when y'all dance like fucking crackhead babies. And you know what? Honestly, I'm going to extend the content of this video to black culture in general, because hip-hop is really just an extension of black culture. Our shows, movies, and clothes, hip-hop, all of that is intertwined. Also, to the niggas from the Migos video that was calling me white or mixed, fuck you, you lame-ass niggas. I know about the day of the Geechee, nigga. At my house, we had old-ass wicker baskets that were beat to hell with Jet magazines filled to the brim. And every night when everybody was asleep, I would go to page 43 of that motherfucker and touch it, bro. So don't ever question my blackness. I got 4 black grandparents. Anyways, let's get into it. And please watch the whole damn video before you comment some stupid shit. Okay, so we all know what culture vultures are, right? They're people that are outside of a said culture and they just completely are obsessed with it to the point to where it almost becomes like unhealthy. And whenever you get a culture vulture that is in like black entertainment, they're often able to capitalize being that cool white girl or that cool white boy that's down with the culture. There's a lot of celebrities that get a lot of flack for being culture vultures, which rightfully so, but I think there's a certain aspect of culture vulturing that doesn't get enough attention. This type of culture vulturing comes from social media, and in my opinion, it's more dangerous than your typical culture vulture. Simply because it's so accessible and it's so easy to copy, paste, and repeat. Within this culture vulture archetype, there's 3 different subsections. There's your average white person misusing AAVE, your average white person blackfishing on the internet, and meme accounts that are blackfishing or promoting ignorant nigga shit. Now, your average white person misusing AAVE may not seem super harmful. At a small scale, it's just stupid and funny at sometimes even. But it becomes a problem when there's a lot of dumbass niggas like this, which there are, who are using and misspreading terms and phrases that they really don't even understand. They bastardized unk, lean, crash out, like these stupid ass niggas didn't know we were saying ass, bro. And I see this everywhere, every comment section on all social media platforms in some iteration, and it drives me insane, bro. Like, oh my god, I'm remembering. Yeah, bro.
Oh my definition.
Yeah. You think you have a yacht? Yeah. Mine bounces like jelly.
What?
These next 2 types up the danger level a lot. There's so many examples of weird ass white people with way too much time on their hands making burner accounts and pretending to be black and saying some shit like, I'm black and I love Donald Trump and green bean casserole, or some stupid ass shit like that. And the funny thing is, sometimes these idiots forget to switch over to the burner and they accidentally post on main. Now again, on a small scale, it seems harmless, but when you have actual members of the government doing this shit, it becomes inherently more dangerous. And the meme accounts are even more dangerous because they tend to have large followings, and then again, they promote ignorant nigga shit. And this gets pushed by algorithms and reinforces the black monolithic behavioral ideas that ignorant Caucasian K people have. And because the majority of these people don't actually interact with black people, this is their only experience that they see of blackness. If I were to rank these as far as like how much harm they do to the black community, I think it would start with the meme accounts at the top, then average white people blackfishing, and then your average white person misusing AAVE. I like to think of it as trickle-down economics, but for ignorance and bigotry, and also if trickle-down economics actually work.
You're just ruining it. Look at my lips. You're ruining it.
I'm going to post a few clips and you let me know if you find any correlation within them.
Michael, what's up? Get it! Yeah, get it!
If you guess white people ruining black people having fun, you got the right answer. And for your prize, you get a, I don't know, nigga, a dry hand job.
What?
White folks have a tendency to ruin the fun in whatever space black people are occupying. If a group of niggas are out dancing at the club, there's a chance that a random white person is gonna come in and fuck the whole vibe up. I actually have first-hand video evidence of this. Let's roll the tape. This is a video of my 21st birthday. Me and the homies got a section to celebrate, and this random white bitch came in and started doing lunges against my homie's leg. And why did she do this? I couldn't tell you, bro. There was a group of handsome ass studs in the section next to us, and they were like, "You want us to whoop our ass?" And we were like, "No, we don't want y'all to cause any static and go to jail over beating up a white bitch." Eventually, the white bitch's friends came and got her, and apparently she was asking everybody like in a section for money and like drinks and shit. Just very weird behavior. It was super fucking annoying, but after she was gone, me and the homies went back to pouring up and doing the booty dance. And I don't know why white people do this shit. Like, I don't know if they think it makes them look cool, but it makes me just want to hit them with a right hook to the jaw. White people also have a tendency to ruin popular black dances. It's honestly impressive how badly you fuck this shit up. Like, dances as easy as the dab or the Millie Rock. The Migos made the dab on some chill shit. Like, how the fuck did it end up like this, nigga? And then like swag surfing, like, nigga, this is like a modern day Negro spiritual. It's our national anthem, and they ruin it every single time because they can't find a beat to save their life. Another way that white people ruin the fun is due to the fact that they have capitalism ingrained into their DNA. So much so that whenever they get an opportunity to be involved in black media, they go into it with the mindset of trying to make a profit off it. And you might counter this by saying, well, don't black people go into the entertainment trying to make $1 off of it? And yes, that's correct, but much like I said in the Migo video, black people are within the culture, you know, because we're black. And black people telling black stories is okay because, you know, we're black. The fuck? White people making movies or shows about black stories or imitating blackness is not okay unless they have black writers or black people around them to check them on the shit that they get wrong. And there's also this thing that white people do, like they have like this sort of entitlement to our culture and our shit and try to claim it as their own. But like when it comes to like Korean or Japanese products or like things, they're very quick to say, oh, this is like a Korean skincare routine, but like they don't have that same energy or respect for black culture. So like, again, fuck you. When white folks get their hands on something, they instantly try to gentrify it and completely dilute it for their white peers, whether that be a restaurant, movies, music, a whole neighborhood, anything. If it's not white and they think it's cool, they will try to shape it in order to make it more palatable for a white consumer.
Black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
When we made hip-hop, it wasn't made for anybody else besides black people. Because due to our origins in this country, a lot of the things that are in black culture are essentially a trauma response to our oppression. The way that we make jokes all the time, no matter the situation, the way we stop and listen when we hear a weird-ass noise, our food, and especially our media, all the things that we do are a result of chattel slavery. We didn't make hip-hop for white people or for even people like Eminem who grew up in black neighborhoods. While poor white folks like Eminem do share the monetary struggles of the people that he grew up around, he's still a white man at the end of the day. We as black people don't have the luxury of whiteness. We can't take off our skin and present ourselves as white. We have to wear our skin with pride and take the full blunt force of white supremacy that runs rampant in this country. Hip-hop was made by us, for us, because everything was taken from us when we got on them boats. Black folks grow up with the culture. Our introduction to black media as children is like when the Navi people first connect to the Tree of Souls and then they feel the presence of AWOL once they're connected to it. I grew up watching The Wiz, Bebe's Kids, Good Times, Living Single, Living Color. I was in the back of my mama's car when she was playing Mary Mary, Keisha Cole, Jill Scott, Kirk Franklin. I was in my dad's car when he was bumping KRS-One, Nas, Biggie, Jay-Z, Pac. The song that my dad played for me that like completely radicalized me was Violent by Tupac. I was like 7 or 8 years old and I felt centuries of rage and oppression just by this one song. And I felt that because I knew that at some point in time in the future I was gonna have to go through that. And I didn't even know it, but like I had already gone through it. Like I just found this out recently. I was talking to my pops and he was telling me about this time where it was me, my dad, and my great grandma in the car. We were driving her home, and at the time my dad was pushing this big ass Escalade, like a nice ass car, and he got pulled over by this racist ass cop. He does a typical, oh, is this your car? Where are you going? Where are you from? Type shit. And me being a dumbass 4-year-old, I rolled down the window and said, yeah, or some shit, and like showed him my Beast Boy toy. And the cop starts reaching for his gun. A white person is never going to have to experience this because they can't. And this is the kind of shit that we're putting into our music, into our fucking shows and movies. They will never have to go through somebody being in a position of power that has an irrational fear of them and having their life in that person's hands. Like, I was a fucking child. I was in a fucking car seat still. Like, the trajectory of my family's lives could have completely changed in that night. My dad, my great grandma, myself, we all could have been fucking gone because a bitch ass nigga with a badge and a gun decided that he was gonna act on his racist and bigoted instincts. When I listen to or whenever I watch black media, I feel something in my soul, like I feel a connection to it. Partly due to the memories that I have associated with it, but also because deep down I know that it was made for me, and that's comforting. As a child, seeing people who look like me in music videos and on the TV screen gave me the confidence and like pride in myself, because through all the adversity that we face, we're always able to create art that's coveted by everyone, even our oppressors. And when I sit here and think about non-black people hopping in and out of the culture without growing up with this kind of content and having like an actual connection to it, I feel like it's disingenuous, and it honestly disgusts me. These niggas have no kind of connection to our culture at all, and it really just angers me when they get so loud about it and they build platforms off of it. White hip-hop heads are some of the most insufferable people that you'll ever meet. Like, they get off on having this incredibly vast library knowledge of hip-hop music and talking down on people who only listen to Kodak Black or other niggas of this caliber. Just because you listen to Benny the Butcher, Earl Sweatshirt, and JPEG Mafia doesn't make you a fucking hip-hop prophet. Growing up, you saw your grandparents doing the fucking hokey pokey to goddamn God Bless America. My parents are doing the two-step to fucking Footsteps in the Dark. We're not the same, nigga. In my humble opinion, I feel like if you're white and you don't know about Ease on Down or know about ooh, 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 or if this scene right here doesn't give you anxiety, you shouldn't be allowed into the culture, or at least not as easily as some of these motherfuckers are. No, I'm not so ignorant to think that white people have done nothing for black culture. There are a lot of white folks that have contributed a lot to hip-hop, I can't deny that. But like, stop and think to yourself, would things in hip-hop really be drastically different if they weren't a part of it? In my opinion, I really don't think so. Now, there are some counter arguments that could be applied to all the arguments that I've made so far in this video, and after combing through my arguments, I've kind of came up with two that have some sort of legitimacy. The first one is, what about black people who didn't grow up engaged with black culture? These people would most likely be black kids whose parents didn't allow them to have access to secular media, immigrants, and then niggas who grew up in coon families. For the kids excluded from secular entertainment, they most likely grew up in a black church with black people, so therefore they're still a part of black culture. For the immigrants, they're still black, and if you're black in this country, you're fucking oppressed, and white people really fucking hate immigrants, so if anything, this helps with my argument. And then with the coon, it's highly likely that they do have family members who do partake in black media, and again, they're black, so they can come back to the culture whenever they want. And then the second counter argument would be, what about black people who take other people's cultures? And for this argument, I'm going to talk about RDC World 1. Now, I think it would be safe to say that RDC built their careers off of anime, a form of Japanese media. But the stark difference between RDC and like a white culture vulture is that they're giving respect to anime and Japanese culture. While their skits are blackness inside of anime, they don't take away from the fact that it's still a form of Japanese entertainment. And they constantly show love for the art form and the people that create it all of the fucking time. In the beginning of the video, I mentioned the British and the Irish. Now, if you don't know, these crumpet-eating ass bitches ruled over Ireland for over 700 years. The Brits sent their people to colonize Ireland and spread Protestantism and essentially do a cultural cleanse because King James I thought the Irish were wilding out too much or something, I don't fucking know. British people don't really need a reason to colonize, they just do it, essentially. Now, you might know about like the Irish famines that happened, but do you know about like Britain's response to it? Well, there really wasn't a response at all. It was essentially nothing. They thought that the famine was a good thing because it would kill off the rising Irish population. very fucking evil. Also, Britain continued to export Irish grain, cattle, and other goods to Britain itself, even though the Irish people were going through a fucking famine. The Irish people finally gained their independence in 1921, but since the Brits are so fucking fat and greedy, they took a chunk out of Northern Ireland. And this really pissed off Irish niggas because, like, rightfully so, what the fuck are you doing? And then later on in the 60s, the Irish got inspired by us across the pond and they started their own civil rights movement because the folks in Northern Ireland wanted to stay a part of the UK. And then the reason why they wanted to stay a part of the UK was because they were being treated a lot better than the people in, like, the rest of Ireland. This point of time is called the Troubles. 30 years of car bombings, riots, and violent acts of rebellion. The Troubles ended around 1998 with a peace deal that allowed for shared government power, but unfortunately Northern Ireland is still a part of the fucking UK. Now the reason why I even mention this is because of people like Cillian Murphy and Niall from One Direction and other Irish celebrities that still show disgust for the crown.
You both are British?
No, I'm Irish.
Yeah, no, British.
No, I'm
Oh,
Irish.
sorry. Sorry.
That's a big difference.
The area of North Europe.
No, I'm from Ireland.
What was it like meeting the king? Had you met him before?
Never met the king. I mean,
How wild is that?
how wild is it? I mean, it's definitely not something that I thought was in the bingo cards. I'm like Irish, so it's not kind of on the list of priorities.
The 90s were only 30 years ago. So these people grew up during the Troubles era. And I'm sure if some dumbass British blokes picked up a fucking fiddle and started doing the Irish jig, they would be very upset and they try to kick the niggas' teeth in. And it would be valid if they did do this shit. Now with this in mind, why do white people always get so upset whenever black people try to gatekeep? And also ask yourself, do white people really deserve to be in hip hop? If you made it to this point in the video, I sincerely thank you. You know the deal. Subscribe, like, comment, share, all that shit. To my subs, thank you. I love you, baby. Mwah, tight shit, you know. I have no idea when this video is gonna drop. If it's around Thanksgiving, happy Turkey Day type shit, you know. If not, Christmas is around the corner. Get your mama something nice, daddy something nice, cousins, auntie, nephew type shit, you know. Praise him, Jesus Day type, you know. But that's the end of the video.